Truth Serum Nation. As you see, Insomnia Sunday, Truth Serum Nation. Sunday night, Insomnia Theater. So get a coffee or a soda or a water or another coffee. But, I had to get it in. I got restless. So thank you folks for coming on in. And if you have insomnia and you're looking for some help, watch this show because it'll probably put you to sleep. So don't worry about it. All right. Now, come on in and hang out with me. I don't know what we're going to talk about. First, I need some viewers. That would help. We have a real big show. I was just watching Ed Sullivan on Me TV. Ed Sullivan. You know how I always say, we have a real big show. Well, that's who started it. All right. So, Captain's here. How you doing, Mr. Ruffino? I get restless and I got to get up here and do this stuff and kill some time. So, that last one I did was 3 hours and 59 minutes. And then I did one right after that for an hour and 30 minutes. So, I'm a lonely mofo. See what loneliness does to a person? Isolation. So come on in. Go get your vodka and tonic or Long Island iced tea or your coffee, water, motor oil, whatever you want. So it was a scorcher today. Boy, oh boy, up here in the Northeast. A scorcher, folks. A scorcher. I got my technical stuff all figured out. Now I got a microphone. So, I'm going to enhance my show a little. I got a microphone. But guess what? You know how I do it. It's just a prop. It's prop 44. So, watching the Wimbledon, I used to think it was Wimbledon. What's up, Mr. Candinas? You know how crazy I am? I thought all these years, when I was younger, I was like, wow, you watching that Wimbledon tennis? Yeah, that Wimbledon. It's Wimbledon, Joe. It's Wimbledon. Wimbledon. Coco Gauff got upset by Emma Navarro. Wow. I believe Alcaraz and Sinner are gonna clash again. Sinner is actually the guy's name, so this isn't biblical here, folks. 10:30, folks. It's 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'll probably be checking off the air about 3 a.m. I just made a pot of coffee, so yeah. So what else is new? What else is new on the horizon? Janet Jackson played. We all know that. Janet Jackson got rained on, and what the heck was I watching earlier? I wanted to bring something up. Must have been a lie because I forgot. Well, anyways, the channel's doing good. I keep pumping them out and, getting new faces, new people in here and everything. So that's all right. That's completely all right. Well, probably should do a mob story if nobody's in here. I don't even know. I was ready for bed. Let me get a coffee. Oh. I'm too young to go to bed early, Jimbo Slice, how you feeling? What's on your mind tonight, Mr. Slice? I need some audience participation. It's just open mic, all right? Open mic. I'll just plug it into you guys. All right, here. Open mic. Your turn. It's karaoke night, folks. Hey, Sir Drums. Hey, you know how I do it over here. I can't take the pressure. It's Insomnia Sunday night, and this show's so boring, you'll be able to go to sleep after you watch this show. No. Oh, Joe, that ain't even funny. So I already told that joke the first 30 seconds of the show. So I repeat myself. You know, I forgot to mention. Sir Drums, we're going to have some problems, all right? I already live in the Twilight Zone, and I just got done watching the Ed Sullivan Show. I ain't crazy enough, bro. I love the action. You know, you got to enjoy life, folks. I'm not going to try to preach a sermon or anything like that, but you got to enjoy. You got to enjoy. Jimbo Slife, I don't even drink or do drugs. I did enough drugs to last 5 lifetimes. So I reached my quota already. Okay. I don't drink. I don't do that. But I did smoke a couple hits at that concert and it felt like LSD. I think I was tripping on this new age power herb they got out. But David Lee Roth over Sammy Hagar. I agree. Sorry. I agree. David Lee Roth just had that voice. Your older brother was named JoJo. You know what, Sir Drums? No, when I was young. Thank you, Mr. Slice. When I was younger, they had this magazine, the National Enquirer, and they called me JoJo. But I didn't know any other JoJos. You know, I'm 4, 5, 6 years old. There was some other Joes out there, so I thought, why am I JoJo? And so they had a magazine, this crazy magazine called the National Enquirer, and right on the front it said JoJo the dog-faced boy, and I went, Ma, don't call me JoJo anymore. I'm gonna get a dog face. No, there's the only other JoJo I know has got a dog face. She was like, calm down, She said, calm down, Joseph. Calm down. I said, thank you, Mommy. Thank you. I love you. So we'll take David Lee Roth over Sammy Hagar. It's Van Halen's, Van Hagar. You might as well have called him Van Hagar, but I just put a pot of coffee on. It's 10:30 Eastern Standard Time here. I did a 4-hour marathon the other night. And I come right back with the double header, hour and a half. I'm a one sick individual. The video skips, and you got to give me an A for perseverance. Look at technical difficulties. You got to give me an A plus. And I just keep pumping. Look at this spectrum. Every video I do, it's this spectrum. I got to watch these commercials. I got to watch these commercials on a loop. Oh, well, you got a bad antenna out there. Then don't spectrum. Give me a discount if I can't get 100% service out here on Mars, where I'm living here in Mars. Give me a discount, Spectrum. You got to watch them goofy commercials all day long. What about the pharmaceutical commercials? Can you imagine if you were doing acid and you had to watch those pharmaceutical commercials? You might end up in a straitjacket. They're dancing in the streets. They're weirded out, man. Then you wonder, who's their target audience? Who's their target audience? Like, food for thought. That's all. Food for thought. They're dancing. Take this for this. Take this for that. And then there's 85 side effects. It'd be like, well, someone was talking about that the other day, Mr. Slice. I became a grown man, and a family and friends were still calling me John. The marathon, yeah, the marathon was us. I think Sir Drums told me that Eddie Van Halen's son was playing. Actually, in reality, if my memory serves me correct, I think Sir Drums is a music connoisseur. Yeah, he's actually John Bonham's son. For you folks, I'm sorry, Sir Drums. I had to, you know, I had to tell that he's actually, don't get mad. See how he said in the comment they're still calling me John John. Hmm. Holy cow! I was joking, but could I be right? I didn't even say that. It wasn't from John John. I just said it off the top of my head. Could I be right? John Drums? Yeah, truth serum. There's a lot of Johnnies that play drums. Johnny Rotten. Johnny Come Lately. What else we got? What else we got? I need help. I need help. I need a lot of help, folks. Oh. Wolfgang Amadeus plays drums, guitar, bass, and sings on all of his recorded songs. Wow. Well, he probably had a guitar in his hand when he was like, when he come out of the womb. They were like, we got a 2-stringer for you, Wolfgang. Here, Wolfgang. Try this on and see if it fits. Wow. Can you imagine? I wonder what David Lee Roth's son is doing. He might be a pimp. Oh, wow. He toured with him on bass, huh? Forgive me, David Lee Roth. I shouldn't have said that. You know. But I envision that video, David Lee Roth, with all them damn women in those. Look at this spectrum. This spectrum's gonna have me nuts. I gotta watch these commercials all day long. I want 20% off my next bill. Yeah, David Lee Roth. He's a very, very, very educated guy, nonetheless. To my surprise, he toured. Oh yeah. See, John. When you're called John like that, later on in years, it's a term of endearment. Now they say JoJo. It's a term of endearment. That's all. I like it. No, I like it. I am not the dog face boy. Not yet, at least. David Lee has a place in Japan and trains in karate and sword at his home studio. Yeah, man. I think he speaks every language known to mankind also. See, we see the public side, we see the entertainment side, and he looked like going after those girls in those videos with all the bikinis, the rock star. He checked all the boxes, and then behind the scenes, he's doing calculus. It's like David Lee Roth. He's figuring out quantum theories and quantum physics, and it's like, wow. He had a theory on Einstein's theory of relativity. It's like David Lee Roth. Then he did another thesis on how to attract women, become a rock star. Very intelligent man. Very intelligent man. That's a thinker. What else we got here? I wouldn't have a show if it wasn't for you guys. This ain't gonna be no mob talk. It gets sickening sometimes. story. Just, why am I still holding this mic? Why? Why am I still holding that dead mic? Hmm. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Is Brian May from Kiss or Queen? Brian May, I think Queen, right? Queen with the thing, with all the hair. He has a PhD in astrophysics. Come on, Jimbo. Are you trying to sell me Swampland? But that probably sounds like it could be correct, though. I saw a couple of interviews way back. He spoke very eloquently. Yeah. He knew how to put those notes together. He knew how to arrange that music. Music is numerology and numbers and notes and arrangements and all of that kind of stuff. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it, Jimbo. I believe it. Yeah. Did you know? Did you know? Yeah. What else we got going on here? The people that write on my comments and everything about Angelo, I ain't talking to Angelo anymore. Okay, so whoever might come in here, Constantine, you gotta stop, bro. Dead better, redder, gotta stop. Thank you but you gotta stop. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. It's not it's a wrap. It was kind of bush league what I did, but yeah, it's a wrap. He knows I did it. So National Inquiry was bad, but after. Oh yeah, the Workley. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Frank, what's going on? I'm just doing an Insomnia show, but it's only 10:41 and it ain't even late enough to have insomnia. But I'm liable to do a marathon over here because I just put a pot of coffee on. So last man standing over here. That's cool, Will Frank. Led Zeppelin, there's a band that sounds similar. What? Not as good as that, but Greta Van Fleet is a similar type of band. Wow, I'd like to hear some, You think, see, I'm from that era, and maybe I'm biased to that, the legendary bands. Maybe I'm biased to that. Like, there can't be any more. How many good riffs are left, How many good arrangements are left in the rock and roll world? And then how many vocalists are left? But how many? But anybody could have some creativity. Will Frank, you went to Del Lago and got the Carlos Santana headphones casino gift, complimentary gift, or did it cost you $500 in those machines? I hope you had fun, bro. I hear you, man. Ooh, them slots are rough. Oh boy. Yeah, those casinos, they're the new mafia clubhouses now. They put gangsters in jail for bookmaking. Look at what they're doing now. They freaking, you go in there, you blow 1,000. They say, hey, Miggy, here's a complimentary toaster. Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's cool. I go to the casinos, but not as much anymore. No. The casinos, they'll make millionaires out of billionaires. Hobos out of millionaires. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Warsaw, what's going on, man? You just jumping in? Deep Purple, Warsaw, you're new in here? We were talking about Deep Purple the other night. Nice to see you again, Warsaw. We were doing a music show or just talk show, I got to turn this microphone on. So you could hear. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right, Joe, grow up. Yeah, I got there to rob the place, not to break them. Oh yeah, man. Woo. Yeah, a friend of mine works at the casino in Niagara Falls. A guy, a guy actually blew. Uh, we'll tell this one. A guy went bad, blew bad. There was a guy, a CEO of a healthcare system that used to go in there on the crap table and just blow 50, 60, 70, 80,000 a night. And he blew a ton. But there was another guy that went bad and he ran straight out of the casino. The falls, the Niagara River and the falls is close proximity, maybe between a quarter mile and a quarter mile or so to the falls. He run right in and jumped in the river and went over the falls. Yeah. There's been a few people that, I don't know, of all the ways to commit suicide, I don't want to get more, the vulture value choose. I don't want to be morbid, but of all the ways to commit, well, that was an impulse. That was just an impulse suicide. His mind got screwed up. He run right out. He run all the way to the damn thing and jumped in. Another time, I'm like 13 years old, and the WKBW Channel 7 News was the station that we watched. And they used to do a live show, or live from Niagara Falls, and they had this reporter, and he's talking, and behind him is the falls and the rapids and the drop off or whatever, and a guy runs into the shot behind the reporter and jumps right there live at noon, and the guy and the reporter, the cameraman or producer right there, and they were like, oh, he was like, back to you, Irv, and it's like, just watch the guy jump in the damn Niagara River, commit suicide live at noon. Mm. But of all the ways to go, I mean, geez, I don't know how I got into that topic, but I know 150,000 and ran across Canada. Not the favor. Hey, what are you talking, Rocco? He won 150K in New York and ran across to Canada and Hamilton not to pay the tax. And he paid a lot more to the Nostra here. That's a good joke, but yeah, Canada. I don't know. Where are you from, Warsaw? Warsaw? There's a lot of different Warsaws. You just got out of the casino or you just got out of the joint? Lock up. Oh, wow. Challenge time. Oh, we're Montreal. Welcome. Welcome. The Montreal Canadiens. Remember Ken Dryden? Hey, the Bonzo's here. Thank you, the Bonzo. I hear ya. Wow, every time I mention Led Zeppelin, I get a super chat. I got to remember that. God bless you and your family, Miss the Bonzo. Thank you. I got Insomnia. Well, it's only 10:48, but I got everything plugged in here, and we're just gonna rock and roll. Yeah. I got a full pot of coffee on too. Why am I still hold? You know what? I think I am a frustrated, whatever, Some Japanese girl sat up on the railing at Niagara Falls, then slipped and fell to her death off just for a selfie a few years back. Oh my gosh. You know, Sir Drums, it's crazy because they just got that metal railing, and that's it. They just got the metal. Here's a story that's quite personal. That it's 3:49. Wow. Where are you at, the Bonzo? I think you probably told me before, but I do have a brain injury, as you're well aware of. And we'll get back to the Niagara Falls story. Well, I'll tell it at well, kind of personal, but my father, which I rarely ever mention in any of my videos, my father, my mom left him because my father was not father of the year, okay? And when I was younger, my father was a twin brother to my Uncle Mike. And they brung me up to Niagara Falls. And you're near Stonehenge? Wilshire? Angleland? Some mystical powers coming in out of there. So my father and my uncle, we go up to Niagara Falls, and they had the railings, and my shoe was untied. And my father, who was, God rest him, but he was crazy. My mother divorced him shortly after that. And he put me on the railing to tie my shoe. I don't know if he was trying to get rid of me and make it look like an accident, but my Uncle Mike grabbed me and put me down, and he smashed my father in the face. Crazy. My father was sadistic. Yeah, my father was sadistic. So that Niagara Falls, they have that railing. It's just an open railing. There's no protective barriers up there at Niagara Falls. No protective barriers. You just right there. There's a railing, and then a middle railing. But the Chinese are always visiting there, so they're kind of short. They ain't got to worry too much, mostly. Maybe they just figured all the Chinese are unloading buses up there all the time. So they're kind of a little shorter, so the railing might be taller than them, but they could go through the railing. You never know. You got to get that fixed. UK Saxons called England Angel Land. Is that Angle Land or Angel Land? Are you trying to say Angel Land? Yeah. Hey, Mr. Anderson. We're just going to go to the last man standing. I was watching. I love watching the mystery of the pyramids and all of that technological stuff that other civilizations and the mysteries of all that. I love it. And their science was so far advanced where the angles, all those angles and corners, that they would have had some sophisticated instruments to come within a millimeter. Oh, Angel Land. Oh, all right. Thank you, the Bonzo. The instruments that they would have to have, and they must have used some kind of anti-gravity devices to put them stones in place. Oh, they had 1,000 slaves and all that. I don't know about all that. I don't know. Maybe it's true, but and the pyramids, the sectors in the longitude and latitude of the pyramids that are in the Incas in Mexico, and pyramids that are in Egypt and wherever there's a pyramid. There's always these common denominators of in relationship to 33 degree or where they are. And if you chart them and map them, it's like little star uh, formations that, part of a star formation that is in the sky. And, but some of them could have been power sources too. A pyramid has been known to be a power source. It's a mystery. Maybe somebody has the answers. It's just not being released to the public. Fascinating stuff, though. Yeah, that Stonehenge, they got those. They got the rocks, and they got those things that look like totem poles. But what's fascinating, of course, is the artwork. The artwork is fascinating, but when they start figuring out the scientific intelligence that they needed is spectacular. The technology, was it extraterrestrial technology? Oh, as in right angle, right? Thank you, the Bonzo. I hear you. They didn't come from Denmark, and Saxon was from North German. They went to 400. The Roman left England. Well, yeah, man. I love all the ancient history, the ancient mysteries that comes on. Yeah. Even Mexico had a lot of stuff, but there's some kind of power stuff that is just not being given to humanity. They're withholding so many secrets. I don't want to get into conspiracy theories and all that, but they're, even energy sources. There's got to be. Well, Tesla, Nikola Tesla, he had that all figured out. And what did they do? They burned down his warehouse. Who was that? Westinghouse and all them. Those millionaires back then. They free energy, Nikola Tesla. Free energy? No, we can't have any of that. We want something we could put a meter on. Let's go burn the poor guy's laboratory down. Poor guy. I think he was alien, Tesla. He put all those light bulbs in the desert. He put all those light bulbs in the desert, and then he put a gizmo away from them. And sometime he was just picking up electricity from the atmosphere. He was picking up electricity, so that's free energy. It's in the atmosphere. And it lit up all the bulbs. It lit up 100 light bulbs for free. For free. What the heck? I look at my electric bill and I think, geez, what about Tesla? What about Tesla? Huh? Holy cow. Man. Yeah, they stole. Oh, he was in innovator of many things. He was the one that created we were just talking about Niagara Falls. Niagara Mohawk is up here. That's who you pay your electric bill to. And he put that combine in or whatever. Vegas Pete and Pipperson, I'm having a little coffee battle here and some insomnia. We're going to go into the last man standing. So Tesla put that gizmo in, and he generated it out. And, Niagara Mohawk right there, Niagara River. You got Niagara Falls. Wow. So that's Niagara Mohawk. Why is New York State, Vegas Pete? New York State. I live 30 miles from Niagara Falls. I shouldn't even have an electric bill just because I live so close to the falls. Why do I even have an electric bill, these communists that they are? That should be a perk. That should be a perk. Oh, sorry to inform you, there's going to be a 7% increase next month due to the rising costs of what? The water's still running the same. The rising cost of what? Your raises? Weather today was 120 degrees in Vegas. Stay inside, folks. Vegas Pete, what's going on, my man? They say if you put a razor blade under a small period, it stays sharp. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. I believe in the manipulation of matter. Mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. Boom. So it was about 90 here today. Angling is fishing. So you'd be an angler. You'd be an angler. And an Anglo-Saxon. So, yeah, it's all connected. It's all connected. Yeah. Tesla had all of his life's work and all that paperwork and formulas and all kinds of things. And those, you know, when the Carnegies came along and the Vanderbilts and Westinghouse and all those millionaires come around and they were sniffing around looking, you know, they said, sorry, but he did rebuild it. He did rebuild it. He rebuilt it. He rebuilt it. He had a photograph. He had a photographic memory, and he remembered all of those formulas. In the North Sea. Wow. I was walking around at the Sandwash, a nice lake. I was doing the morning videos. I was walking around, but I had to junk my car, and I was gonna get a fishing pole because I like fishing too. I got my tackle box, but I don't have a fishing pole or a car anymore. But I was gonna go do some videos fishing in that lake. I used to do these morning walks around this beautiful lake and exercise because I'm a smoker, and I'd walk 2 or 3 miles and sweat, you know, because I smoke. So I try to offset it. I should just quit smoking. Fucking idiot that I am. So, yeah, fishing is fun. You know, what's going on, Pimperson? You bobbing and weaving? Vegas Pete? Why am I still using this microphone? Maybe it's an omen that I might be getting a call from a network. Huh? Just think it into reality, right? Manifest your own reality. So I'm better than any bum that's on TV anyways. I'm confident. TV's just turned into TV's just got weirded out. Seems like, I don't know. I don't want to get into politics or anything else, but everything seems like it just got weird on TV in the last 3 or 4 years. I don't know. Oh, you guys want to see something real weird that I put? Check out that little video I did with Joe Biden rubbing that dude's arm. You talk about La La Land. He walks up to these 2 black dudes. They're like dignitaries or public officials or something. And Biden walks up to them with his assistant, a lady. And he walks up and he shakes the guy's hand. There's 2 black dudes. They're like government, whatever they are, probably, you know, government. Biden shakes his hand. Then Biden looks down at the dude's arm, open arm, and he's rubbing it. And he's like, he's infatuated, and he's rubbing the black dude's arm. So the black dude's buddy looks over at him and starts laughing, and the black dude looks back at him like, what the F? And now the secretary looks back at the camera like, I want my mommy. And then they cut it. He's shaking the dude's arm and he's rubbing him like, this must be what a black man feels like. Is this guy that torqued out? Yeah. He's rubbing his arm and he's like frozen. Oh, it's got a nice texture. Could use a little more lotion, but it still looks nice. What? The secretary said, yeah. Forgive me, folks. Forgive me. I showed it. It's in 3 videos ago. That might be. It's only 4. It ain't 3 hours long. It's just a quick thing. It's about 6 minutes. I just kept replaying it. It's only 10 or 12 seconds. I replayed it 6 minutes worth. It's a 12-second clip, but I put 6 minutes worth of it here, another 12 seconds here, another 12 seconds here, another 12 seconds. Staring down at the dude's arm, still shaking it, and he's rubbing it. Yeah. Because he claims not to be racist, but if you look at other stuff, so in his deluded mind, he's something in his mental schema of thinking. He was thinking, I gotta show that I am for the Afro-Americans. I gotta show that I am for the Afro-Americans. And why don't I rub this guy's arm so I can sell it to the public that I am for the Afro-Americans, and I'll just rub this guy's arm. That's what process was going on in his mind. The dude's looking at him and he wants to pull his arm away, and his buddy starts like, what? He's like, what? And the dude's trying to be polite, and then the secretary assistant looks back to the camera and is like, Well, I don't know. I don't know who they're going to use. I don't know what candidate they're going to use for the election. I don't know. I don't know how that is. If he drops off the card and they're going to have the convention, it's already too late by the rules of how the political rules are. I believe it's already too late. So he's going to have to run. I don't know. Kamala Harris, she could run. She could probably she'd get less votes than views that I get. I'd get more views than votes she'd get. And I don't get a lot of views. Where's she been hiding all this time? Yeah. They call it positive racism as it is. They're trying to divide the country. And they're reverse racists. It's reverse racism. My best friends were black growing up. I grew up with the United Nations, black, Puerto Rican, Indian, German, Italian. I was raised, I didn't know any different. Until the first evidence of racism that I knew was I went to junior high school, and my black buddy Beef, God rest his soul, I had a white friend. He was a white Anglo-Saxon. He was a WASP. He turned me on to Jimi Hendrix in 7th grade. Listen to the Star Spangled Banner, Jojo. Wow, what is that? He's called it's Jimi Hendrix. Wow, who's this? So he was a cool kid. And he wasn't prejudiced against Italians because I was Italian. But so he said, yeah, if you ever want to come over now. I lived in public housing project type thing. He lived across junior high school in a mansion. So he says, yeah, Jojo, if you ever want to come over, we got a swimming pool in the back. Come over and swim. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, bring a friend. He said, bring a friend. I bring my black buddy. His nickname was Beef. And so I go and call him. Yeah, I'm coming over with my friend. So we walk over there, and we get in there, and we just get in the water. We just get in the water, and my friend Charlie, the Wasp, he's out there. We're having a little fun. His mother comes out, and she says, "Charlie, come here." So she tells him the black kid's got to go. In so many words, in so many words. And I was like, what? So Charlie, he knew it was kind of, he knew it was bogus. He knew that was bogus. He's like, Jojo, my mom said that. I was like, for what? We're wearing cut off jeans, or you got to wear official swim trunks. You got to do we have to wear official swimwear in this swimming pool, or are jeans all right, cutoffs, or and I didn't even realize, because being black. So we're walking home, and me and my buddy, we're trying to figure this out, and saying, well, some people just don't like blacks. I was trying to figure it. I was like, but that community didn't like Italians or blacks. And then my mom said, yeah, she gave me a little education on that, because Frankie the Fixer, what's going on? Jimi Hendrix was great. So that was my first introduction to racism, and then I might say some things on here. It's like, hit the like button, then I might mention some things on here where they're all crying. The media is crying. They're trying to divide America. The media is putting all these narratives out there. And then you get Sharpton up there, this racist Al Sharpton that's been causing trouble for a million years. What's up, Danny? The BMX, well, we're flying in here. Then you get the Malcolm X and Jesse Jackson and all that, and they thrive on it. They thrive on it. They thrive on it. They're trying to divide America, and then on the news, it's like every city chief, police chief is black. If you're red, white, green, purple, black, whatever, you go apply for a job. It doesn't matter what color you are. Everybody of color, whatever color you are, you could get a job in America. So whoever's crying racism, it's a crock of shit. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. They're still crying racism when Obama was president. The media is evil, and some of that government is very, very evil. They promote it. They want division. They want division. They're crying all that stuff right now. I see so many mixed couples around today. So people are getting along. People are getting along. Black and whites are marrying. Chinese and Italians are marrying. All cultures and nationalities are mixing. What are they crying about? Oh, the Kama soul in Rocco, we got to. Oh, wow, Warsaw. Yeah. They ambushed my godfather when he was 18, 19 years old. The wise guys, they ambushed him. He beat them all up, and they hired him. And later on, he was an enforcer. Yeah, it was rough in New York City back in the 70s regarding racial tension. I had a bad time in the 90s, yeah. Mm-hmm. Obama was half white, Hawaiian, and everything else. They were trying to find his birth certificate and all that. America is getting a little crazy. America's getting a tad bit. They want it to turn communistic. They want it to be socialistic, or Marxist, things like that. Because as time goes on, they're trying to strip us from, the rights, the amendments, and everything. That's a good one, Warsaw. Giancarlo, hold the phone here, Giancarlo. Those are some deep waters. Hot the fence to a Tampa owned by the common Camiso and Rocco. We got caught by a WAP. We took us a WAP. What are you now? You're making Italian insults on here. It's an open forum. It's an open forum. You Polak. It's an open forum. You kike. What else we got here? Thank you, Warsaw, David BMX, Danny, Sir Drums. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, Brooklyn ain't the same anymore. Yeah. Brooklyn's not the same. Times change. You know, now I'm that 60-year-old guy. When I was 20, 25, my Uncle Joe, I thought he was saying, oh, to these times. And I just thought, oh, these times are fine, Uncle Joe. And, you know, now I'm him. I'm the 61-year-old that, you know, but realistically, the country has just gone into a twirly world. It's getting bad, you know. I mean, realistically, that what they've been trying to do is just insane. Watch that video with Ted Cruz. Now, Ted Cruz, you can't out-debate him. He was the president of the Harvard debate team. Ted Cruz, I think he's from the Texas guy, and he's got this politician sloth, and they're talking about the oil, 80 billion, all this other stuff. With Iran and everything, and she's sitting up there with a straight face while we have our own oil reserves. How do these politicians sit there with a straight face where a fourth grader can rationalize this and that, and what would be the right thing to do? Billy, what would be the right thing to do in this position? And he'd come up with the answer. Why do these overpaid sloth politicians get paid all this money? They're appointees in these cabinets. They're appointees into these cabinets, and they sit there with a straight face, and they're just sitting there going, "Screw America." In more words than none, they're just saying, "Screw America." That's all. And then she does a monologue with gibberish. And Ted Cruz is like, you didn't answer the question, Sally. You didn't answer the question. What? I wrote a paper in 1982 called The Dumbing Down of America, but I never thought it would get this bad. I never thought it would, you know. Oh, well, what can you do? Warsaw, great stories. I resemble that remark. Yeah. It's just going to get, well, I don't know. You know, Donald Trump didn't accept his paycheck. Donald Trump didn't. He gave it to charity. You think Biden giving them? They'll grab anything that's not tied down. What happened to his son, the good old Hunter? What happened to him? What happened to that? He's starting to look Chinese. That Joe Biden, he's starting to look Chinese. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. His face is morphing. He's looking like Chen Wang Yang or something. I don't know. Maybe that pot I smoked at that concert still in my brain. Smoked pot for the first time in 30 years the other night at a concert. It was not the kind of same pot that I was used to 30 years ago. When I was done taking 2 or 4 hits off of it, I thought I was on 4-way window pane acid. I thought I was going to faint. And then I snapped out of it. I snapped out of it. Woo! I thought I had the best bud 30 years ago with a mad scientist, a botanist, and a chemist and all that. I thought I was on the cutting edge years ago where I revolutionized that. What they got out today is whoa. That stuff's got to be 60% THC. They can make it as strong as they want. It's legal in New York State. Pot's legal in New York State now. Yeah, there's these people behind us. Good night, Mr. Warsaw. Good night, man. Thanks for coming in, sharing the story. Thank you. Yeah, what else we got, folks? This isn't going to be a marathon. I just want to get in here and we rock and roll. We rock and roll, get it in while we can, and that's that. Too strong out. I found out to say, what happened, Bonzo? Your weed is black. I told you guys the story, but man, I tell you, the peer pressure, they're 25, 30-year-olds, they're behind me, and I smell it, and I went, whoa, because it's coming. I'm sitting down in a chair, the concert's straight in front of me. We're way back on the lawn, and they're right behind me. And I went, this is different. And they were friendly and everything. And I went, wow, that smells sweet. He was like, here, take a hit. And I was like, no, I haven't smoked in 30 years. And then it seemed like, everything was right, Yeah. The sun, the music, everything. It wasn't peer pressure. I'm an old man. I'm beyond peer pressure. So I did take a little baby thing. I went, he said, who are you going to scare? He said, take. So I was like, all right, let me take some power hits. I took some power hits, but then I went. My whole brain was numb. Now I'm sitting in the chair. They're standing up behind me, 3 couples, 25 to 30. I'm sitting like this, like I'm in the electric chair, and I'm not moving. And my mind is numb. My mind is vibrating. They're talking, and it's like, wah, 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 roo, 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 roo. I'm like, it's not registering. I can't make out what the words are. Now I'm saying, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Now my only thought is, I don't want to faint. I don't want to faint. And the girl comes down and kneels next to me because she saw I was hemmed up. She's kneeling and she's talking, and I can't. My senses weren't operating correctly, and I'm tripping myself out, or I don't know what was going on, and I'm thinking, don't faint, because it was 90 degrees, it was hot, and then I had a little water bottle. I was trying to put in my hand and put on my face and everything. And then they had water and they just went, and I got out of it. I said, oh my gosh. I thought we were going to have a crisis there. And then I snapped out of it, and I was rejuvenated, and then everything was good. But holy cow, how can people smoke that powerful herb like that every day? I don't know how you could smoke pot like that every day. I used to smoke high test stuff all the time back then. I moved a ton of it. I sold 1,000 tons of it back a long time ago, all over the country, U-Haul trucks and all that stuff, all over. But that back then they used to have, Sensimelia was like, ooh, Columbia Gold. Wow. Mexican was Mexican was the low grade stuff. It was brickweed. Back then they had brickweed. They had Thai stick. But then I had a scientist and a botanist, and we got these seeds from overseas, Sweden or Switzerland, and we got these seeds hydroponic was in its infancy way back then. Hydroponic. So me and a friend had some friends that were scientists, and we used to, my friends would say, "You got the mad scientist?" Yeah, I got it. It's 40 for 2 buds. I got it. I got that mad. We used to call it the mad scientist. Hash from North Africa. Oh, ooh, how high can a person get? How high do you want to get? Is the question. Jeez. I like that pot I tried at the concert. It was a Third Eye Blind concert at Six Flags. You can't smoke that before you go to work. You can't smoke that kind of stuff before you go to work. I don't even know the Bonzo, what other states that smoke is legal in. I used to dodge the cops for a minute. Everything that was illegal is legal now. Everything, gambling, Now, if the government can make money on it, it's okay. All of a sudden, their morals and scruples changed. No, we can't have marijuana is bad. No gambling. Oh, we can make some money on it too? Oh, let's legalize it. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I beat an illegal search and seizure case, though, once upon a time. I did beat a big case with a lot, but it was an illegal search and seizure. It was actually in my car. They said I went through a red light, and I didn't. And there was witnesses. Thrown out. My judge was a black judge with jerry curls and in a wheelchair. I said, I got a shot. Not that a black judge might be more liberal or anything, but at least I know he'd follow the letter of the law because he was an underdog himself. He was an underdog, not saying black just to say some racial thing, but I know this guy made it to be a judge. Back then, there weren't a lot of black judges, but he was a black judge in a wheelchair. So I thought to myself, this dude's going to be a fair guy. And he asked me some questions. I was actually in school at the time taking marketing management. I was taking my first bid in college. And I had a lawyer, Joe Thomas, and he kept not showing up. And the judge was getting sick of it. And I said, could I represent myself? I told you guys I'm a frustrated weatherman and a frustrated lawyer. I'm a frustrated everything. And the judge was trying to pick my brain and says, well, what do you do? I says, well, I'm a student at this business school. He said, well, I said, I'm also a dishwasher after school, blah, 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 blah. And he said, what are you taking? I says, marketing management. He says, well, yeah, buying and selling. Well, yeah, you got 60 pounds of marijuana. You're really doing good with the marketing. So he says, what's the definition of marketing management? So I always remembered, I was on the dean's list, everything, blah, 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 who cares? I always remember the definition of marketing management. He thought he was going to ask me, what's the definition or what is marketing management? And he thought I was going to fumble on my reply. So I says, do you want me to just tell you in layman's terms, or do you want the textbook definition? Because I always memorized it. He said, well, if you please the court, you could tell the court what the textbook definition is. So I told him, and any human activity directed at satisfying the needs and wants of consumers in the exchange process. Any human activity directed at satisfying the needs and wants of consumers in the exchange process. He said, so you supply marijuana and they pay you money in the exchange. I said, yeah, that's how it works. That's how marketing works. Buying and selling marijuana. I'm satisfying the needs and wants. I'm satisfying their demands. So, but in the back of his head, he already knew it was a legal search and seizure, and he threw it out, and it was sealed. It was sealed somehow. When that happens, sealed. Nobody could look at it for 10 years or something like that, you know. But yeah, pays to pay attention in school. But the case was stronger like that. I think this lawyer knew it or something. They knew something that I didn't know. I don't know. Oh, I gotta check that. If the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers are still published in the UK, if anyone wants some 1970s smoke humor. Wow. I gotta top up my coffee. Please forgive me, all right? Please forgive me. I gotta top up my coffee. This Joe went crazy, man. Hang in there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Who does that? Who does that, man? I'm sorry. Who leaves the damn... You guys know I have a brain injury. I'm really, you know what I mean. I have some deficits, but I made a strong comeback from being dead, so that's good too. So I made a comeback, but I do have some deficits that you're probably well aware of. But that's why, you know, they own the market. What is that? The Bonzo? They own the market, the smoke humor? Oh, Massachusetts was one of the first. Massachusetts was one of the first to legalize it, but it took New York. This New York's a filthy state, folks. They put this New York state into the dumpster. They put New York State into the dumpster. Straight up dumpster. It's been that way for years. Niagara Falls, one of the seventh wonders of the world. Those politicians up there crippled the city. All there is a casino there. There's no commerce. There's no nothing. There's just a casino in the falls. There's no merchandising. There's nothing. You got one of the seventh wonders of the world there. It's one big hood now. It's a big crack hood now. No industry, no factories. The politicians, then they backdoored some other big urban renewal things, other urban renewal type of things, and it just turned into these political footballs. And everywhere you go, it's run down, just run down. There's no grocery stores. There's just corner stores where you could get your milk and bread and a crack pipe, and a Brillo pad for what they put in there, whatever the hell they do. God forgive me, but that's what they turned it into. Yeah. New York dumpster. It used to be innovative. It used to be an innovative state. Then we had to deal with Mario Cuomo and a whole list of them. Now we got that Dorothy Hochul. The only thing missing from her are the horns. Dumpster state. Complete dumpster. The Republicans might win the state next. The governor. It's going to be a closer race. You see what happens is New York State is an entitlement state. Okay. And the middle class is leaving. Okay. The middle class is leaving to other states. And so the tax base is crippled. The tax base is crippled. So they're in a budget deficit every year. So, but the people on entitlements, most of them don't go vote. A lot of them don't go vote. So more and more the Republicans have been gaining ground every election because they're losing their voting base. They're losing their base, you know? So that's New York State. Keep them on stupid. That's the place they left. Likes to punt on first down. Then you hear about all the scandals and everything else. It's like, good, they got caught. Good, yeah. Boy, it's on every news station. Yeah, they got caught. Yeah, put them all in jail. And then after that, it's crickets. You know what happened? Nothing happened? Oh, I thought they all got busted. What happened? Oh, nothing happened? What happened? What happened? Just like the people that were going after Trump, and then they caught some of them people. It was like, oh, good, they're going to get them. Nothing. It's all hype. They're the puppet masters. That's all they are. They're puppet masters, and we're the puppets. Forget about politics. There's a lot better things to talk about. Yeah. Control of the masses. Yeah. They were doing that, studying that from the 40s way back. America actually hired a Nazi back after World War II. A German Nazi, actually hired him into some type of high-ranking political affiliation. Crazy. Because little by little, every decade that goes by, they want to just keep, making you lethargic, just not pay attention. And while all these changes are going on, and then when one day you're going to turn around and there's a freaking a military point to go 2 miles down the road. What happened? Oh, geez, I was watching the game. Oh, I didn't know we were having military check-ins, checkpoints. What happened? I can get a 2-week trip to the USA East Coast. Should I even go to New York? I want to see the Vietnam Memorial in Washington. Where else? Anyone? Yeah, they have the National Cemetery right down the street from me right here. I did a video about it on Memorial Day. They do have a beautiful National Cemetery 5 miles down the street from me right here. But I guess that would be a good one. Yeah, the Vietnam Memorial, that's the best place. Anything with the World War II, anything that you want to see. I mean, militarily speaking, I know, I mean, if you just want to see, Mount Rushmore or certain types of other types of things, but militarily speaking, yeah, Key West, Yosemite, they have the geysers and stuff, the natural geysers. Niagara Falls, the seventh wonder of the world. Go see Niagara Falls. Oh, you know what's crazy? America's got the better view of the falls than Canada. So I got a comp room at Seneca Niagara, and you could look right over. You could look right over the Niagara River. You could look right over the Niagara River from the Seneca Niagara Casino hotel rooms, if you got them on that side, and you look to the streets of Niagara Falls, dark and destitute and dead. Right over the river to Niagara Falls, Canada, it's lit up like a carnival, and they're rocking and rolling. And America has the better view of the falls, and it's burnt out, destitute, dark, nothing. How could that be? How could that be? They just let it run down the garbage. They let it run down the garbage. Yeah, America is rotting from the inside. Mm-hmm. People got to start voting in the right governors. That's all. Where did all the illegal immigrants go? To all the Democratic states. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. That's all. They refused the Vietnam vets in the streets to the 5-star. We don't have any room because we're giving all the illegal immigrants free rooms. 5-star hotels, they're giving the illegal immigrants free rooms, and the vets are in the streets rotting away because they refused to build or whatever. And then Biden tried to say, Biden in the debate was talking out of both sides of his mouth, and he didn't want to do really nothing for the vets. The vets are needing assistance, but the illegal aliens, the killers and thieves from third world countries are coming in, and they're getting room service at 5-star hotels. That's America. That's what we got here. You foreigners in here, that's what we got going on here. It's in the Democratic run states here. It's in the Democratic states here. Geez, I wonder who's paying the tab. The taxpayers. So you better put an extra shift in at the factory, Billy. But if Trump gets elected, he'll turn it right around. He'll turn it right back around again. The party's over. The party's over. The price of everything went up 5 times in 3 years. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's all crazy. Yeah. Yeah, then what about when Biden got hemmed up at the debate? He got hemmed up at the debate. He went, Medicaid reform. The cat was out of the bag. The cat was out of the bag. They've been hiding him for 3 years. He'd been talking off of teleprompters. And the first time he didn't have a teleprompter, there's your boy Biden, folks. Sad. Yeah. New York pizza is still worth it. Yeah. Yeah. Been eating frozen for 2 days. Yeah, I get the DiGiorno frozen pizza. If Michael France's pizza any good? I don't know. He might be pouring some of that wine on it. Check his papers. Good old Mike. He wants everything. He's got pizza. He's got pizza in vending machines or something. How do you swing that? How do you swing that? Pizza coming out of vending machines? Probably cardboard and ragu sauce. Can I get stuff for free if I lose my passport? The Bonzo. Yeah. Just come in and say you're from say you're a revolutionary. Say you're a political like Tony Montana, the movie Scarface. He said, I'm a political refugee. Just say you're a political refugee. You'll be at the freaking Hilton getting room service by nightfall. You'll be getting room service. All right? With a food stipend, rent stipend, and everything else. Over here toward Buffalo, they got this whole row of motels, nice hotels. Now, I know that there's immigrants that struggle. I know people struggle, and there's a population of poor people that do want to come to America and have a better life, but do it the legal way, okay? Because my ancestors were immigrants. Everybody in America was an immigrant at some point in time because the Indians were here, you know? But do it the right way. But they were at these hotels. They were having clotheslines from trees to the windows at these 4-star hotels. They turned it into a dumpster. You know, I'm not saying they're all like that. I know some hardworking Mexicans that were here before all that happened. They worked for a friend of mine, and they're they're hardworking people, the Mexicans, hardworking. I am not trying to say anything bad about Mexicans, but it's not Mexicans. All the other countries go through Mexico. That's the open door. They come right in, and they come through Mexico. That's the open door. You know, Trump almost had the wall complete. He almost had the wall complete. You want to come to America, you got to be legal because there's a lot of crazy killers that come in our country. And they got in and they've killed. There's some illegals that have come in and done some atrocious stuff in America that were illegal. They were illegal. They were here illegally. So, you know, Joe Biden, yeah, we did. Joe Biden, we got the border under what? I don't know, man. Yeah, the other countries hold their line. Crazy stuff. You know, friends of mine went to medical school in Canada, graduated, wanted to live there. Wow. Yeah. They got those cartels. Yeah, Canadians said no. The cartels that come, there was a cartel guy. I told a story a few 100 videos ago about the guy that came to the club, and you know how some of the I don't know, did Mike Francis say no, the Colombos didn't sell drugs, heroin, or coke? I don't know. I thought Mike Francis said the Colombos didn't sell cocaine or heroin or something like that. But there was a guy that I had an encounter with that came up to the club, and he got his communication wrong with the old man and another guy. They were in cahoots, and he had that tattoo here. He had a tattoo like those Colombians. They get that tattoo with like a sickle or something and a whatever. I don't know, gang up. And he was up here to commence a big shipment from Colombia to Florida up the East Coast to this area, New York City, boom, and then they would track it, Cleveland, all points west. Other network would be Florida and go along the south United Southern states out to the west. And I don't know about the other families, but the Colombos sold tons and tons and tons of it. I think Mike Francine made some comments or something about no, they or whatever or something. I don't know. Because you know why? Mike Francis had his hands in so many things that if he didn't get a piece of the action, well, it didn't exist. It didn't exist. Oh no, I wasn't in on those deals. No, it didn't exist. Or he just don't want to say he dealt drugs because, well, personally speaking, no bad. All respect to Mike. All respect to Mike and his family, because he might be saying that later on in years because his family members had some problems with drugs. You know, poor Mike Francis. No disrespect. His family had some problems, some serious problems with drug addiction. So maybe that's why he just might make his stance and say, no, the Colombos didn't deal no drugs. You know, maybe, you know. Yeah, he knew. Yeah. Yeah. But some of the guys in the crew, they tried to hide some in my car one time. In my car. I'm driving all over planet Earth, and somebody was blistered, and they had put a frickin' something like this frickin' back under the thing, and it's 4:00 in the morning. I'm running him around all over the place, and he says, "Oh, Jojo, I forgot. I left something in the." would you leave a pack of smokes in the back or something or whatever? And he freaking, I says, what? I've been driving around. Oh, you got, and he goes, oh yeah, and I got, and he had two pistols under the passenger seat. Holy cow! He didn't even let me know. See. Yep. Allegedly, he left the pill. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Mormil, that guy came up to the club. That Colombian guy came up to the club, and then he had a driver come over, and there was a drain. There was a sewer. It was an inoperable sewer drain. So I was only there not for long. I don't know what happened there before me, before I was up there, and there was like a drainage pipe, those rusty pipes, and they got holes in them, and he says, so I go, thank you, Mr. Anderson, and he had a hanger. He had a hanger, a wire hanger, no wire hangers, mommy dares. So he had something like that, not this, but it was another type of package. And he hooked it, and he had it in the sewer, the water drain. Like parking lots would have a water drain. It was behind the club. The club had a parking lot, and it was a circle. And you're not possessing it. It's just in that. It wasn't an operating type of thing. Like, I don't think it was. And yeah, and I had to give him things got squirrely, long story, but it was there, and he opened it up, and I'm thinking, what the hell's this guy doing? But the guy didn't come to the club to make the transaction. So he kept me on ice at a hotel down the street, and I'm tripping out and everything. Like, the sewer grate. And it's like, this is convoluted. Like, because I think they were trying to backdoor Sam. I think the old man didn't know about the deal. And the other guy that was doing it, a crew member that was doing it, didn't let the old man boss in on it. And he didn't show up. And then we're calling him from the bar and everything. It was it was tripped out, but they were moving some big weight straight from Colombia. Guy straight from Colombia. Spoke good English, good looking businessman. I think he had just come from New York City and dropped off a package down there. Mike F. Oh, you'll get killed in the mafia if you deal drugs. Well, yeah. Yes and no. A captain could want a guy hit for selling heroin or something, but it's got to be approved through the boss. But maybe the boss was making some money on it, so he told the captain, "No, just leave him alone. We'll just rough him up or something." Or okay, you know what I mean. You only see so much on MobTube and Mob Soap Opera, Mike Francis, Send Me the Bull. You're only getting so much information from these historical dinosaurs and these movies. You're only getting so much of a perspective of information and things like that. It's not so concrete and so rigid like that. It ain't that rigid, because you can make a lot of rules, and you got captains out there. Some families got 3, 4, 9. They're just names and titles. There's a boss, but then there's all this under level. There's this whole, hierarchy bouncing around back and forth. And you look the other way as long as that grease is coming. And a lot of these guys were degenerate gamblers, and so a lot of them turn into drug coke addicts, and they forget about the mafia rules. They're just down on making some money. without the captains or bosses knowing it. Mike says, no, they didn't deal. Why? Because he didn't make any money on it. So it didn't exist. He's the encyclopedia of the Columbos. Yeah, he's the encyclopedia. Yeah. That's just easy to, accept. It's just easy to accept. That's nothing so far-fetched that I'm saying, because what also is going on is that they got enough mafia crimes. Mafia's doing enough crimes, and they don't want drug dealing to be part of a crime, because what happens when those drug dealers get caught? They end up ratting. So a drug dealer in the mafia is a bigger liability, because the older guys can get implicated and then they flip. And, so then that's in play also. That's in play. A guy get caught with a freaking half an ounce of freaking crap, coke or whatever, and he's telling on everybody in the kitchen sink. So they were making enough money anyways. They didn't need to deal drugs. If they just kept their pay and their salary and didn't blow it on gambling, they would have been happy. They wouldn't have had to go into all these other ventures. There's guys in the crew that would pull out, and I'd say, oh my God, what if Sam finds out? He's like, stop it, Joe. Stop it. I was wondering, is Sam getting a piece of the action? What's going on here? But me and Sam were close, and I never went any conversation with any of that. He knew about the guy that come with that freaking thing like that, and I just stayed in silence. Whatever they were gonna do, make a huge score on that. But the people in New York didn't know. The people in New York, the Columbos in New York, didn't know about it. They didn't know about it. They're running their satellite crew, and they're doing all these things. And hey, you make a score, it's staying with Sam. Sam had a room that had all these. It was a club, a restaurant, bar. It was a closet, secure closet, and it had liquor bottles stocked. It had liquor bottles all stocked up on it, and it was a swivel, and there was all money stacked in there. Sam was worth millions and millions of dollars, and it was there. He said the old phrase, "Now I got to kill you, Jojo." I said, "Why did you let me see that?" And he says, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." But he had that place under 24-hour surveillance. There was a house next door to it, and he had people watching that around the clock. He had people watching it around the clock. They had a place in Manhattan. They had a place in the garment industry, those warehouse garment industries where they had all the clothes, fashion clothes on one side of these warehouses, and then they also had drugs on the other side, and it was under 24-hour surveillance. Security. Yeah. 24 hours. Yep. My godfather did it a couple times or whatever. Well, he told me about it, and another guy thereafter, a guy I didn't like, a guy that he was associated with. I didn't like him because my godfather did some things for him, and he didn't pay my godfather well. But he had this other scumbag. He had some of his shit up in that warehouse, but I didn't like the guy, Well, they had that, they had the mob, the traditional mob. Then they had those Italian mob, the Black Hand and all them. They went to Canada and all that. That they were the treacherous. They were a whole different breed. Them guys were a whole different breed. They went from America to Canada, Montreal, from Italy, sending all that heroin from China, from China, all the way, all points, Europe, all points to America. To America. Serious dudes. I don't know if it was called the Black, it was some other name. If it was called the Black Hand, I don't know. But it was serious dudes that used to come from the old country to New York and they were above everything. They were the international distributors, international cartel, serious dudes. At a couple of events, I ran into a couple of them. They speak fluent Italian and English. Serious businessmen. Serious businessmen. They're on a whole different level. They're on a whole different, whatever they do. International, which maybe they paid off the Coast Guards, They paid off the Coast Guards. You got one of the biggest ports in North America in New York City. And them guys were making $32,000 a year. That was huge back then. Those workers in those ports. What if a guy comes up to them and says, just ignore that cargo ship. Just ignore that cargo ship and that other cargo ship. Here's $50,000, Billy. And the guy makes $20,000 a year after taxes. The guy's got to work 3 years. Otherwise, you got this guy saying, hey, pay attention, And if the guy don't agree, they're going to smash him. They're going to smash him anyways. They were on a whole different level, them guys. I ran into a guy, one of them type of guys. I was introduced to him, clean cut businessman. You would think he was like just a regular businessman, a stockbroker. You'd think he was a stockbroker. But they were serious. When they came to New York, and whoever the bosses were of the traditional crime families, they bowed down. They bowed down to those guys. They bowed down. Those guys were the guys that could come over and have a hit squad, like not like there's nothing. Like in Colombia, when the heroin and everything was coming into Harlem and all that, and like the traditional mafia was gonna well, we want a piece of this. They did work a little Harlem with some of the gangsters just for a little network. But them Colombians, the Italian mafia knew that those Colombians were organized. And there's trigger men for the mob, but the Colombians, they want to kill your whole family. They want to kill. They killed children. They want to kill children. So they were, however the diplomacy was, I don't know, whatever the diplomacy was on that, but they come up. They'll tell the underboss or the boss, this is what we're gonna do. That's what they go. The sit down or just a meeting or something or who's who or what. Well, this is what we're gonna do. That's what the Colombians would say. This is what we're gonna do. And that's the same thing they said to old man Sam. This is what we're gonna do. And everybody's gonna profit from it. This is what we're gonna do. He didn't care about what's going on in New York or whatever. All these bosses and underbosses. There's no honor amongst thieves. There ain't much honor. Stick your Cosa Nostra and all that, and handing all this money up to here and there. And all these bosses are sitting on millions and millions and millions of dollars. Really? So who cares if they miss out on a few packages? You're gonna cry them a river? Come on. Yeah, them serious Serious guys used to come in, and they were above. There was a hierarchy above the traditional mob bosses. I'm not saying they warred with them, but they called the shots. They called the shots, or when certain major things were supposed to be happening. Yeah, the families did business as usual. Yes, of course, they had business as usual. But if there was something that was going to come in the mix, they were going to come in and tell those families, those mob families, this is what we're going to do. Because these other types of guys, there's psycho killers everywhere, but these other regimes, they go after women and kids. They go after women and kids, and the mob, Italian mob, is strictly against it. They go, just like a guy from Harlem. He just got out of prison. I think he did 25 years, 27 years. Mecca Otto. He was half Jamaican and half black. And he was running a lot of stuff, and they didn't bother him. Because sometimes they had just as good connections, better than the mob. So the mob drug dealers could go to the Jamaicans and them people in Harlem and score their drugs at wholesale prices. Not at retail. They can make big, just like, Harlem had some gangsters. And they didn't bow down to the Italian mob. They didn't bow down. Everybody did their thing. Most of the people in New York that were dealers, they went and copped their drugs wholesale from Harlem, and they went to sell it in the city. The higher level drug dealers, they copped their drugs in Harlem. I mean, maybe they copped it here or there, but that was the drop off point, But yeah, there's a lot of different organized crime out there. A lot of different organized crime. But that Mecca Otto, he came on when crack blew up. It was right at the right timing, and he had all the geographical locations. He had all the dealers set up, and he had the right network, and he got it wholesale, and they did and boy, they just made a ton of money. That's when they changed the drug laws, and you go do all that time for cocaine, but then they made stricter laws if it was in crack form, because crack was just destroying America at that time, which it probably is still today. But Harlem wasn't no joke. Harlem, and then over in Queens, and they a lot of the dealers, all the other entrepreneurs they'd go down there and get their weight, and then go sell it to where the hell they sell it. Very cheap prices too. So you could be a drug addict back then, relatively cheap. They were selling heroin before my time. They were selling heroin, the most powerful heroin, for $5 a bag. $5 a bag. You could collect cans and support a drug habit back then. You could collect cans and support your drug habit. Yeah, they flooded America and these major cities, and the rest is history. So no problem. Top of the Empire building. It's awesome to visit. Yeah. Colombians were more controlled back then too. Yeah, those Colombians, man. Well, that's the epicenter of the freaking poppy plant. Afghanistan's got the poppies, right? Afghanistan's got those poppies. Other places, they got or the cocoa leaves, the cocoa leaf for the coke, or the poppy for the heroin, I reckon. Dapper the Rapper, how you doing? Here I am doing another late night insomnia night, right? We're going about the history of drug distribution in the world. Everything's good here. God is good every day. Thank you, Jesus and God, for giving us, everybody, a nice day today, and keep us safe in our journeys and travels. Thank you, God. Amen. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, Peru. Yeah. I had some close friends back then. Yes, Christ is King. I had some friends, closest friends, that got into that crack. And I never thought, we smoked pot or whatever. We were athletes. And they were, I like the first time I was ever around it, they were doing the crack, and they were paranoid, and they were looking out the curtains of the window, and I'm going, what are you guys doing? You guys, that's a good high? What is that, a good high? And they were like, oh, I was like, I don't want that garbage. And they were paranoid. And then they run out, they do their last rock, right? They do their last rock. And everything on the floor looks like it could be a possible crack rock. And they're looking, and they need another hit. And there's like, a cookie crumb or something. I was like, I thought they were busting my chops. I thought it was a comedy skit. I was going, come on, you got what? And they were tripped out, paranoid, look, doing with their jaw. Whoa, I gotta go. I gotta be somewhere in about 1 second. Yeah, some of my best friends, God bless them. God bless them and God rest them. And they got into that, and it went bad. It went bad, health-wise and crime-wise. Terrible. So, yeah, that's that, folks. Where are you at, Dapper the Rapper? Extreme paranoid off of that crack, man. And then it was like there wasn't even powder cocaine. America, okay. It was like there wasn't even powder cocaine. There was, but like the wealthier people, I'm not saying it discriminates or anything, but a lot of wealthier people are still doing powder cocaine. But then you hit the crack one time and that's it, or something. I don't know. Change your brain, whatever. But I was wondering, how would anybody want to enjoy a grungy high like that? So paranoid and grunged out. How do you enjoy that? Is there euphoria going on in the brain? But how much euphoria is that? There's totally paranoid. I don't know how that's an enjoyable buzz. I don't know. Who knows? God bless them. God rest them. And, that's drugs. That's drug addiction, I did my share of drugs, so what are you going to do? Now it's nicotine and caffeine. That's all right. That's good enough for me. I'll stay in the safe lane from here on in. I did enough craziness. I never was into snorting that cocaine, though. No. Yeah, we're clean. Did our time, Mr. Anderson. We did our time. Yeah, I overdosed on that fentanyl. I did. That was it. 10 years ago, that was it. I don't even take aspirin. I don't want to know nothing. The only drug I did was at that concert 3 nights ago, that marijuana in freaking years. That was it. No, I'm too crazy. I'm too crazy for that shit. I like that opiate high. I thought if you're gonna do drugs, a opiate high would be the best high. A opiate high. You could think and whatever. Well, so there's a lot of cultures around the world that opiates are part of their culture. So it's down to coffee now, Mr. Anderson. It's down to coffee, nicotine. That's that. Whatever, how many years I got left, well, that's what I'm going to do. I know he's smoking. Well, what am I going to do? Look at the damn walls? I got to be hooked on something. I might have an addictive behavior. That's all. Got to be addicted to something. So I'm trying to do better, but I've been saying that for a long time. So there you go. Well, thanks for coming in here, Dapper the Rapper, Mr. Anderson. It's late night. It's midnight here on the eastern coast of America. And yeah, I just wanted to do a little late night thing here. Thank you, the Bonzo, for helping me out, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Ivan Lord, thank you. The Bonzo, Sir Drums, Dapper the Rapper, America. Yeah, we put that. I'll do a crazy mob story tomorrow or the next day. Michael Mormeal, thank you. Michael Candinas, thank you. God bless your families. Yeah, the Bonzo. Can I get stuff for free if I lose my passport? You'll get a room and you'll get a free room and room service. Just say you're an illegal. Warsaw, thank you. Yeah, you got that right, buddy. Sir Drums, the Bonzo. I love my community. I don't know a lot of things, but I like my people that come in here. I got David BMX, Danny, Frankie the Fixer. Thank you. I like my people. My people seem like they're on that. Vegas Pete, Pimperson, Jimbo Slice. Yeah, I like that. Thank you, Bonzo, for that donation. I really appreciate it. I should mention Led Zeppelin more often. I should mention Led Zeppelin. Will Frank, thank you. Will Frank's in here. And Joe Ruffino, the captain. Sorry, Joe. The captain. Good man. God bless you, Joe. Joe helped me out. Joe helped me out when I was down and out, when I was in my recovery. Very intelligent man there. Shape up or ship out. So you can always make a comeback, folks. You can always make a comeback as long as you're still living. I'm starting over. I'll be 61 on the 9th in 2 days. I'll be 61. Everybody, the truth serum. Yeah. Thank you, Ivan Law. So I'm still fighting. I'm 61. I'm going to try to get 5,000 subscribers. Hey, whatever resources I have, I'm going to try. Thank you, Super Lex. Thank you. So wherever we're at, Super Lex, quit cracking jokes, okay? 40. I'm laughing at that. But at any age, you can make a comeback and try to live in some prosperity or good mental state of health. I know some hobos that enjoy life more than wealthy people. So just be in a good frame of a good state of mental health, and you could still enjoy life, Be happy for what you have and not for what you don't have. I just junked my car, but I get rides. I got friends that's, God is good. God is good. So, hey, we can fight back. I'm doing it from scratch, and we're gonna keep rocking and rolling. And guess what? whatever happens, I'm still going to have fun with my people. What am I going to do? Sit in this place and look at the walls all day? Why do you think I've done 500 videos in 2 years? Well, come on. All right. So, yeah. Tomorrow's my birthday because it's after midnight. 61. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Because I've had divine intervention so many times in my life where I should have been dead. Well, I was actually dead, but, clinically dead. But other times I came back being in the hospital or car accidents or the mob. I've dodged it a lot of times. So this is gravy for me. So I'm going to still keep trying. Why not? I'm not going to give up. I've been a fighter my whole life. Academically, I always strive to be on the dean's list or whatever work. I always strived. Always strive. So I don't care if I'm 60 or 70. What if I live to 90? Maybe I could get prosperous by the time I'm 65. So maybe something, but you got to still, you can't give up. You got to just keep throwing. You just got to keep hanging in there. Yeah, the world is going to try you. The world is going to try you, but you got to keep fighting. That's all. I came back from brain dead. No brain activity, zero. The mind was a blank box. Zero information, start from scratch. So everybody can come back. Don't look behind you and cry about the past. Look forward. Set your goals. Put the target out there. You can get it. Because while I got 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to go for 50,000. I don't care. Why not? Why not? We're God's children. We can do it. All right, folks. So that's that. I got a story I want to tell. It'd be more mob related. I know people like the mob stories and stuff like that, but I'm trying not to make this a mob channel. My mom didn't raise a gangster. Single mother of 5. She didn't raise a gangster. Sir Drums, man, thank you, man. God bless you and your family. God bless you guys and your family. Thank you. I like, it's not a big hyped up show, but I like the community in here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm doing these late night shows, freaking Insomnia Theater. Holy cow. Oh, well. So, yeah. Sir Drums, if anybody reads your book, go on Facebook, Joseph Monty, and friend me. I'll send you my book for free. I'll send you the book for free. If there's somebody that's a reader or something, I'll send it to you for free. Because you've been good to me. Because it doesn't cost much to ship it. There's a post office right down the street. But maybe don't want to give your address out or something like that. I don't know. But I'm on Facebook. Joseph Monte, Monte. I'll send it to you. Anybody want a book? Put your thing in there. But I know people want to remain anonymous. I know people want to remain anonymous. So, well, I wish I could do something, back to you, So, that's that, folks. I appreciate everybody comes in. We're gonna rise up together, and we got a lot of stories coming, and that's that. I'm sweating. Got to turn the AC on. Woo! No more coffee. It's freaking 12:30. So thank you for everybody, for the views, for the like button, for the super chat, for keeping me company. Everybody that comes in here, I like my people. God is good, and God's been showing me. God's been showing me. You don't give up. Don't give up, Joe. Don't give up. So that's that. I'll be. You know how many times I do videos. So yeah. Good night, DeBonzo. Thank you, sir, for your help, and thank you guys for helping me out. Yeah. I really appreciate that. So pay the electric bill. You wonder why I'm so pissed off about Niagara Falls? Freaking electric bill. No, thank you, folks. So Yeah, we'll get back in the mix, and I will put the notification on there for the time that the thing. I do these so haphazardly. It's not fair to you guys. So I'll post up like the time, like 5 or 6 hours before I do a live. I should give you guys a heads up. Instead of just showing up on the spot. Oh, he's live. Oh, I got to start getting more technical, and I keep saying that, but geez. All right, folks. God bless you. Let the world bless you. And remember, you're kings and queens. And don't give up, because tomorrow has got something really good waiting for you. All right? Think it, breathe it, it'll appear. God bless you all. Thank you.